Yes, this is a serious problem. Yes, this is a vaccination that can save tens of thousands of young children starting tomorrow. We don't have any time to waste.
The images that I saw in Vietnam still haunts me today. I cannot erase, nor would I want to erase, the face of the mother, the grieving mother, the pain in her eyes that her child was no longer coming back to her.
Let me quickly give you a solution. In the case of AIPF, our organization, in 1999, I was horrified by what I saw going on, literally blood on the streets. And where do you begin? I started very simply. We started with children. Today we've distributed over 350,000 helmets to children throughout Southeast Asia. Let's make sure that we've got a good, safe product and one that people will wear. So it was simple. I went out and talked to some experts and developed what I call a tropical helmet. But the next problem was where to build it. We are an NGO, we're a nonprofit organization. So we went out and we got the funding from a variety of sources to build the world's first nonprofit helmet making plant. We employ the physically disabled. Out of a workforce of 100, we now have 30 of our workers are physically disabled. So it's a great model though. We're setting an example for other companies to see how to do this. We at the same time started developing public awareness campaigns. We're very fortunate, Michelle Yeoh, the international actress, she has played a huge role in getting children and parents aware of the importance of wearing helmets in Vietnam.
We started our journey in Hanoi. It was quite an amazing place, and while we were there, we visited the War Memorial. I think it was a very special and reflective moment to think that this beautiful country was once ravaged by a horrible war and many lives were lost, and they still feel the effects of that today. But then, you know, as we went through the city and we see what is around us, it seems like they are still raging another kind of war. A war on tragic road accidents. We went to a hospital. When we were there, the victims, the ambulance didn't stop coming in. I mean, it was like every 5-10 minutes, someone would be wheeled through to the emergency wards. It just kept coming. And it is horrifying that such a beautiful, such gentle people are still facing such horrific tragedies every day. While I was in Hanoi, I met the visionary, Greg Kraft, because his foundation, what his group and his team they are doing is simply astounding, and it is saving many, many lives. When we were there, I had the amazing experience of visiting a helmet factory, and that was fantastic because it's a tropical helmet, which is in Hanoi, in Vietnam. That is something what we need urgently because, you know, it's hot and kids should not have the excuse. People should not have an excuse whereby they think, well, it's too hot to put on a helmet. Let's put on a baseball cap instead. And it is something that we have to work very, very urgently and quickly. Someone like Greg Kraft, a foundation that he set up, is trying very, very hard. But I think he also needs great help from the authorities and from the communities around him.
Some tens of thousands of people die every year in Vietnam on the road. Like 90% of fatal accidents involve motorbikes, and something like 77% of those deaths involve head injuries. So the number of people in this wonderful country where half the population is under 25, the terrible story is that people are dying in such numbers. I had a young pair of Australian medical students come to see me. They'd been attached for some time to emergency wards, and they said the emergency wards were utterly dominated by people coming in with head injuries from motorbike accidents. They said, and so many of them were demonstrably avoidable with the wearing of proper helmets. Now, they just said, please, Ambassador, whatever you do, involve Australia in this. Now, I'm proud to say we'd already got ourselves involved. One of the important things that I've been proud Australia has been able to involve itself with is financial support, but also public and moral support to AIPF, the Asia Injury Prevention Foundation, and we'd be very, very pleased to play our part in support of it, and we will continue to try to support that sort of effort.
Well, as you can see, it's an absolute madhouse, but this is what it's all about. The children are excited. That's the whole point of these ceremonies. Yes, they're getting the helmets, but we want them to really have some enthusiasm and buy into it, and this is what does it. But we've got hundreds of millions of children that need to be protected, particularly in the developing world. This is a vaccine that can be worn every day by children, and for $10, it's not bad. And I hope that that message will get through to people, that we can do so much by the simple act of putting helmets on heads of children. With corporate support, we're beginning to send this tropical helmet to Africa. We have sent helmets to Nigeria and Uganda. But Africa is only about 10 years behind Asia, and we're seeing it happening there, where investment is coming in, people are beginning to have enough disposable income, and they want mobility. So they go out and buy a motorbike. It becomes the family car. So even though a lot of people laugh at it when they see photos, it is not unusual anywhere in the developing world to see mom, dad, and even 2 or 3 children hanging on for dear life.
It's really part of what we believe in, corporate social responsibility. We believe that the road accident incidence in Vietnam and globally is very, very high. So it's really important that we continue to drive this message to the younger generation.
The children are truly the victims in this, and we've got to try to take steps to correct that. We make such an investment in them. A country like Vietnam, for example, 99% of the children are inoculated. They're vaccinated at birth. And it's a wonderful, they're number 2 in the world right now in terms of their success record there.
They're protecting their children in that way.
But yet they're dying after they've been educated, after this education, the big investment has gone into them. So even though we're building schools and a lot of companies are giving scholarships and all of this, to have them lost senselessly through road crashes it's unacceptable.
Well, on the 31st of March, we are going to New York for the United Nations debate, whereby we have to make the world leaders understand. Because guess what? We have the vaccine, we have the know-how, we have the knowledge. Now we just need to take this knowledge and spread it around the world in the right way, put it in the right hands.
I'm standing here in front of the headquarters of the United Nations in New York and really excited to be here and about what is going to happen here. We are working on preventing children from injuries in Vietnam. We've had a very sad case of a girl recently that has passed away because she was not wearing a helmet. And now this issue will be brought up internationally, hopefully. And we hope that this resolution can change something, that more and more people all over the world understand what we need to do and, in a way, how easy it is just with a helmet to save children's lives.
I honestly wasn't prepared on our first fact-finding trip to Vietnam, the emotional trauma that greeted us. There was a very brave mother who lost her daughter. She would have been 9 the day I met her. She wanted her child to remind the rest of the parents, don't do this because you will go through a lifetime of pain and regret. You will never see your child again. That has galvanized me into standing up and, in a great sense, believing what all of you are doing here. We can stop this.
And I have to tell you, there was no sight like yesterday here at the United Nations, seeing the Secretary General of the United Nations hold up one of our helmets with Michelle Yeoh who had just been in Vietnam recently. It's a recognition that yes, this is a serious problem. Yes, this is a vaccination that can save tens of thousands of young children starting tomorrow.